on two sides. Both teams have Reynas. This is huge. I like confused myself because I didn't expect both teams to have double duelists. We're going to be seeing a lot of firepower out of these two teams.
Yeah, Cinnamon not bringing the Phoenix, so that's where I was just like, I was waiting to see how that was going to play out. But yeah, it's great to see the Reyna on both sides of the field, and yeah, very similar comps as a result. Just the Killjoy and the Sova being the difference between the two, so it's not a full-on mirror match. But again, as you say, this is going to be a very aggressive icebox.
We'll start it off with a little bit of that Viper utility quite early on, as it looks like it's going to be a play towards B. And Nella's going to get spotted out by the drone, so she's going to call that back to the rest of the team to say, hey, looks like it could be a B push, but eyes on mid where they need to be.
Not going to win out that exchange, unfortunately, as Clara does get the better of the Reyna duel. And with that, the spike is going to be down over on the B side. Walls, of course, up on both sides of the field, as you would, well, as you expect when you start bringing Vipers into the equation. The wall is going to go down, gives themselves a chance to sort of like move on forward, figure out where they want to take this. They could see the spike on that left-hand side, and now it's all down to how they deal with this. Nice double on there, and surely that is going to be that. Toxin is up, so they'll wait for it to dissipate, and that will be a nice diffuse. So GangsterZz do start with the pistol round win, much like they did the last time around, and dancing to show off, because why the heck not?
Yes, the thick joy. Melanie would be proud. One of the observers that works for Nerd Street Gamers. She's become quite famous for her thick joy shots. So there you go. We'll have to clip that and ship that to her. And in the meantime, that's going to be the first pistol round on the board here for GangsterZz. And again, we're seeing that force up from Project X. Spectre's out. A Sheriff as well, giving that to Roxy. And we've even got a Marshall here from Slicey. This is a very, very wild buy across the board. And honestly, I'm kind of here for it.
Yeah, nobody wants to play conservative in the slightest. They just want to go all in. Guns are blazing, with the exception of Slicey, who wants to hold on back. Gets a little bit of a pick, but not quite the elimination they were after. Again, the turret will fire on in with Cinnamon taking it down. Trap has been initiated as well. The eye is out. We'll see if they can actually get anything through the wall. They don't, and in fact, they always get caught on the back foot. Clark gets a double before finally going down to glance. And just like that, they drop like flies. Blink and you miss the entire thing. And now it's a 2v1 for GangsterZz advantage.
It's 2v1, but look how far away these ladies are from one another. Oh, I like this. Pull back, wait until you can regroup and swing together. You don't want to be caught out first up. And now Kim looking to take both of these ladies out at the same time. It's just not gonna work out.
Yeah, unfortunate that. Completely caught off guard. And that is going to be 2-0 for GangsterZz in the early stage. Just going to quickly rotate on around a little bit. I don't know if they were able to save that Marshall in the end. I do not think they did at all, which, to be fair, it's fine. And again, some odd buys coming on. Oh, obviously we're going to see rifles coming on out naturally. But yeah, interesting buys across the field again.
Well, it's a little bit of a bonus round, sort of, for GangsterZz, but they do need to invest a little bit because they lost a few players in Project X, of course. Forcing up, this would have been their rifle round, but because they forced up in the previous round, they're only going to be able to buy up Spectres. But that means that, once again, it's an important round to try and win out. Now, it's very curious to note that this is Project X's attacking round, and of course, that was their best round on the previous map, and it was their worst round in the previous series. A little bit back and forth here, and, well, let's see how they manage to deal with that now. They've got the wall up, and the spike's going to go down. It's all about the post-plant.
Certainly is, and we are going to see Cinnamon immediately drop at the hands of the Sheriff. Heck, to make that 2 for Slicey, and that Sheriff immediately takes the high ground, tries to get another poke through there. Just a lot of firing on in there, but not getting any purchase this time around. Smurfette does take out Lyra. So that's a 4v3, make that a 4v1, and there goes Glance, and well, guess what? That's another defuse for GangsterZz.
And if I'm not mistaken, the previous map, yeah, that was GangsterZz map pick. This was Project X's map pick. It's a little bit of a fun fact there. That being said, the first half of the previous map went very similarly, with GangsterZz with a runaway start and Project X needing a little bit of time to warm up, and the great comeback in the second half. So we'll see if that does continue. Of course, they're starting on different sides this time around. So that can, of course, make a little bit of a difference. But there are some ultimates online here. Some other ultimates are very close to being online. There's at least one rifle on the board. So that's something. But both of these teams with very, very broken economies, and that heavily favors GangsterZz.
You're certainly right, and Smurfette's going to start gliding all the way forward. They're going to need to be careful though, because Clark is just going to let them go. Overheal themselves up, but cannot get the better of Cinnamon, who at least manages to take the high ground advantage back the way it came. GangsterZz with a player differential, and Cinnamon makes it another one. Double kill with the headshot too. And with that, Project X have the numbers, but can they actually convert this into a point this time?
Ooh. Ball actually uses that dismiss to try and get away, but doesn't make it into cover in time. And Cinnamon, well, you can't just give her free reign like that. If she's gonna see you, well, you're going down. And off the back of that, of course, she continues to overheal up, and she just keeps that ball rolling. The snowball effect of the Reyna is so powerful. And Nino's the last player left alive here for GangsterZz. She's on the other side of the map, and I don't see her trying to save this gun. I mean, what is this? Yeah, it's a bulldog. Like, okay, just going for the orb. Oh, she's gonna try and get a sneaky res. Maybe?
I mean,
surely.
It would be a brave thing to do at this stage. They are starting to run all the way up here. Would they really go for the res when the spike has been down for quite a while now?
No, surely not.
She's
I mean,
also...
it gets her res online, but if she dies, then she gets her res anyway. So, like, I don't know. It's a weird one. Because if she dies, so she would have gotten an ult point anyway. So she backed up to go get the orb, and I thought, I mean, she might have gone for the res. There was a player that had died just outside A main, I believe. So she might have gone for that res, but instead she just goes straight to the site. Could have been an eco res. Oh, it was a terrible economy round. I don't know what the thought process there was, but ultimately what it does mean is that confirmed and 100% that res is going to be on the board here. So they have two ultimates. And Empress was burnt by Cinnamon in the previous round as well, to good effect. It did help to win them the round. And off the back of that, still not able to fully buy up, but at least they still have some skin in this game.
And again, the eye going on out. Nino has to quickly look away from that whilst it finally dissipates. Looks like, again, they're very much spread out for the time being. Thought about the B push, now slowly starting to linger on back. There's only one covering the angle on A. Everybody else is over at B, and I wonder if Project X have realized that, and that's why they're going to slowly start coming on in. So it really comes down to if Roxy, well, A, knows that they're there, and B, oh, well, they're going to start making them tiptoe just a little bit. This is going to be, oh, down they go.
Ooh.
Kim gets the pick, and surely that means the A push is coming.
Now they hedge their bets on the B side push. Oh, you cannot miss those, Slicey! That gives away so much information, but thankfully she has the dash to get out. Now that equalizes the numbers, but the defensive killjoy, the lockdown, comes through. Huntress Fury to counter. Oh, takes down the lockdown big!
Massive play from Glance, exactly what they needed to do there. And the spike timer continues to tick down relatively uncontested. Smurfette creeping on in. They actually have managed to figure out where one is, and rinses down the operator, make that a double, and that will be that. GangsterZz are gonna lose their foot in their Project X are right back in this.
Oh, that retake was lackluster, to say the least. Weren't able to cover those angles adequately. Got a little bit cocky, started pushing out when they should have stuck and held the angles. And, well, there you go. That's another round conceded over to Project X. And if they continue with momentum, this is a team that you do not want to give momentum to. They now have full rifles. They've got Bladestorm and Viper's Pit. And you're stuck on a janky, broken buy with one rifle, pistols, and a couple of Spectres. Two ultimates, sure, but how do you contend with the Viper's Pit?
The answer is you very much struggle unless you get that knife in there and hit it on the first time of asking. Otherwise, it's a very hard one to really shut down. Smurfette again, keeping that high ground, and that was awkward to say the least. That is 3 in a row. Kim finally goes down, but it really doesn't matter as Project X seals in the equalizer.
Well, we're 3 for 3. And this should be a full buy for both teams. Yes. Alright, so we got full investments coming through here. And finally, a round on equal footing. It's only taken us 6 rounds to get to this point. And, I mean, speaking of equal footing, you know, we've got both Blade Storms online. Then we've got a Viper's Pit versus an Empress and a Rez. Now, we know how powerful that Rez can be, and that's something that GangsterZz has had online for a couple of rounds now. Haven't had an opportunity to use it. Let's see if they get that chance here. If they can maneuver that. I mean, effectively, it's now a 6v5 battle. If they can actually get that Rez. Oh my goodness. Okay, just shut down Smurfette. Why don't you?
It just decides to go all in with it, and that is not going to be the start they were looking for. Kim at least manages to bring it down to a level playing field. So, 2 ults still up for GangsterZz. The Rez is one of those if they so wish to bring the Reyna back. But again, they need to be able to read the situation. Cinnamon does get the pick, gets themselves a double. Spicy and Lyra had nothing to do with that. That's a triple! And goodness, no! And a triple for Nello as well. Viper's Pit deployed. That covers the spike as well, and that is... How did it come to this? It's a 1v1 between the Viper and the Reyna. Who's going to get the quad?
Oh my goodness.
No.
Oh my goodness. Steps into that at just the right time. Man, I have questions. That's all I can say about that. I have questions. But Nello seems to have the answer here. Who's going to win out in this Viper Pit battle? It is going to be Nello with the 4K at the end of the round. Oh my goodness. Uses the Viper's Pit in a 1v1, but absolutely worth to secure themselves another round as we swing right back in favor of GangsterZz.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. 2 triples on the board, both just on the knife edge with that quad, and just the Viper's Pit coming out, and you just saw that sort of like... waited to go into it. Look at this spread. How about that? Just quick little flicks. Just rinses through the lot of them, and obviously well held in the pit as well. They had the advantage, and Nello takes just takes the whole thing. Just wonderful play.
And a broken buy again for Project X, but alright, Cinnamon's just like, alright, cool. I'm just gonna give you one straight to the dome, and that's gonna be us on B site. And what are you gonna do about it?
And the answer is, well, not much at this stage as they slowly begin to and maybe rotate back the way they came. They'll pick up that spike, and you can see already thinking about going towards A. They find GangsterZz do actually have somebody lingering on over there, but we saw how it went last time round that this kind of happened, so expect some more shenanigans coming up from that A side, although they haven't fully committed yet. Now they have.
Yeah, so that B site push was just making a little bit of noise, and they now opt to go for the A site push. But oh my goodness, another swinging right back towards B. They pulled the rotation twice, once towards B, once towards A, and now they're going straight back to E. B, new site people, it's E. And it's going to take a little while for GangsterZz to get into position. They should be able to get this plant off.
You would assume so anyway. Cinnamon gets themselves a double on the board. Overheals up, but cannot do anything about Slicey this time round. Spike is at least down. It's a 3v3 situation. And again, they're trying to get all angles covered. Will Smurfette get the first poke? I think they'll know that they'll be up above. They're also behind them, and Killjoy doesn't look around. No!
Oh, but those angles were covered from every direction. This is what we call back and forth, people. 3 for 3, then 1 for 1. These ladies not giving an inch here. I love the way that Cinnamon uses that dismiss just to try and get a little bit of information here. So she gets this kill, uses the dismiss to try and see this Killjoy, but when she peeks back out to try and get the Killjoy has moved and will get the drop on her there. Great stuff. Oh, GangsterZz back down onto a broken buy. It's so painful to watch. It's just, it makes you so sad to see. But they're not out of the game just yet. We're getting very, very close to that halftime spot. Oh my goodness, Smurfette!
The second you're like, it's not over yet, Smurfette just like, no. Excuse you. Cinnamon gets the pick in there as well. That was unbelievable. Gets themselves the Killjoy as well, and well, at least Clark gets one back at the very least. Not going to be a flawless this time around. But yeah, the Toxin Wall is up, the Spike is down, and this is a mountain to climb here for Clark.
was just too many players hiding around the corners. Cinnamon is so good with those dismisses. I love to see it. She gets all that information and then she's able to follow it up with some fantastic kills as well, using that Empress to such good effect. Great stuff. And of course it was another, I won't say it was an anti-eco because it wasn't a full eco from GangsterZz, but it was one of those kind of janky buys, so there was definitely a advantage in that regard. But Project X gonna have 4 ultis here. Bladestorm Res and Viper's Pit. They're gonna leave the spike, I think, just for the moment. They had a really great play where they baited out twice before actually executing on a site.
Oh, and that was unfortunate to say the least.
Oh, what?
Excuse? I'm pretty sure I saw that right?
Yeah, there was the kills coming through at this. It was almost choreographed. It was coordinated so well. 2 kills over in A main and 2 kills over in B main, and all that's left is Glance. Not for very much longer. Wow, what a round! I love it. This is what we want to see. GangsterZz pushing out, shutting down potential flanks and lurks. There was a lurk over towards A site. Shut down. Not gonna allow that to happen. And despite Cinnamon being on 18 kills, we're still seeing like it. The kill distribution, the spread is far more across the board for GangsterZz here. So it doesn't feel like there's one person who's kind of lifting the team up, you know, really supporting them. This is a full-on team effort here, but again, we're tied up with 2 rounds left in the half. Is it gonna go 7-5? Is it gonna go 6-6? Still 3 ultimates online here for Project X. Oh my goodness! The reaction time!
Slicey just holding their nerves and knowing exactly what they need to do. A 4-on-4 at least manages to pick it back up on the other side. And again, Cinnamon marking things out, coordinating things back to their team, and now the decision becomes, do we commit to the B or will we swing back over to A? There's, I think, still somebody lingering over there, and the res comes up for Project X, so back to a full team number, and the knives are out as well.
Bladestorm pop. Now there is a little bit of presence towards mid as this is Kim. Of course, she realizes she needs to watch quite a few angles. So now as she backtracks towards B, she's got full sight. Anybody that tries to push through A main or B will walk into her crosshairs. As the rest of the team have made their way deep onto the B side, you don't realize the killjoy's just around the corner. Actually, that was the Jet.
Certainly was. And that is going to be a quick little double for Glance as well. Hit is actually going to get opened up with all of this. They had the numbers advantage anyway, but just to make sure. But having said that, Clara is going to get 2 for the price of 1 there. And now it's back down to a level playing field. They've overhealed themselves back up as well. And just poking on through, but can't get it this time round. Glance with the triple. That just leaves the Sage. And will we see a quad? They're actually going to have to brave it. They have to go in for it.
Ooh.
They'll create a wall, and that's gonna rinse straight on through. The Fury was there as well, and Kim will get the finishing blow.
Good attempt there, but of course, before the wall solidifies, it's quite fragile and it's much easier to break through. So we get a little bit of damage coming through there, and then the Hunter's Fury just to secure, make sure that there's no way that anything can go wrong. 6-5. Last round in the half. Nello, unfortunately, looks like she's going to be rocking a Sheriff this round. The rest of the team is on rifles, but the whole of Project X have rifles. Now, they burnt every single ultimate in that last round. And GangsterZz, at the very least, have an Empress here. So they've got something to try and swing off of. Oh, my goodness. Not a good start.
Yeah, Smurfette again, just finding the pixels where they matter most. That is going to be Killjoy out of the equation. The Sage does not have the res ready to go for GangsterZz. Slicey again, just biding their time. Nino is down. Slicey and Club both get on the scoreboard, as is often the case. It's Cinnamon who goes down. And that is going to be the Empress out.
Almost all of those shots missing. Manages to survive just long enough to get that out. Nobody's checking in kitchen. Smurfette will get a nice little kill there. And it looks like Spike's going to be going down on the A site. Last 2 people left alive here for GangsterZz. You can't cover the entire map when there's only 2 of you left. But they are moving together. So hopefully they'll be able to swing on one another. This is a very, very far back hold. And again, all they really have to use to defend the spike is the mollies. I do suspect there's some pretty good lineups here to make sure that those mollies are going to land on the spike itself, even from so far away. But we'll see how this does pan out. Of course, Smurfette ready to swing.
Yep, defuse is coming, but that's going to be a lot of stuff there. It's just the Viper left in a 3v1 situation. They do get one, but I don't think they're going to have the time to really go for the defuse. They'll try again, but they know full well that was always going to happen. And Glance makes sure we do not end the first half with a tie. It's 7-5 in the favor of Project X.
Didn't even need the snake bite. Shock darts are plenty, and that's great for those post-plant situations. Fantastic work here. And of course, Smurfette just lives long enough to delay that defuse from coming through. And even if that shock dart hadn't come out, I don't think there would have been enough time. The halfway marker didn't come through. So a very, very good round and a good half for Project X. Now, they do have that lead. And we'll see if they can repeat the performance they had earlier. You know, a 9-round run with no map or no rounds dropped. I think they can do it, but I want to see GangsterZz put up a little bit of a fight here, start to turn things around. This is their attacking half. They did have a phenomenal attacking half in the previous map. Let's see if they can replicate it.
And the pistol round is going to be crucial for them. They'll need to win this to keep that momentum away from Project X. The last thing they want is for Project X to replicate exactly what they did last time round. And so far, it is going to be GangsterZz who start the better. A double for Clark and the Ghost. And Nello, well, doesn't quite get the pick they were after. Cinnamon gets the better of them in this exchange. And just like that, it's still very close, but it is going to be Clark with the triple.
Oh, wow. One person left alive. Smurfette. She gets the halfway, but isn't able to finish it up. Gets one kill off the back, but Slicey will get the cleanup there. And that's going to be GangsterZz moving to get this to a tied-up scoreline once again. I want to see now, are we going to see that force buy coming up? It looks like Project X. Okay, not a massive force. Obviously sticking on the classics all around, but one Marshall in the hands of Cinnamon, and honestly, given her performance, unsurprising that they want to give her a little bit of firepower. And of course, the expected buy from GangsterZz, given that they did win the pistol.
Yeah, nothing shocking, to say the very least, going in to this point. GangsterZz looking for that equalizer. The eye obviously up, but not going to really hinder anyone on this occasion. And Leah edging on just a little bit. They know full well the peak is probably going to come. They actually spray down on the side first and get every bit of what they were after. So Glance will hit the deck first. The A-push, it looks like it's coming, but Smurfette, well, I mean, they did get Claw down, but crucially, get taken out by Nino in the process. Nice little stop from Kim.
You're going to use that snake bite there to stop anyone pushing and stop a potential plant. The 3v3, nice little heal's going to come through as well, so that's going to help matters at least a little bit here. Ooh, be careful of the ropes.
You give information away with them. It's incredibly dangerous. Lyra.
Look at this. GangsterZz pulling back again.
Are they seriously going for another rotate? It looks like they are, and Nello is indeed going to follow them all around. So yeah, they're all heading back over to A. Now I wonder if Project X will realize this is happening. I think they've realized it just a little too late. Now, will the spike get planted before they make it there? I believe it will.
Going all the way around the world, there is going to be enough time to plant.
10 seconds left.
It's a 3v2 here, so they do have the player advantage. They've got Viper all the way back deep into that A angle, but oh, that's going to even out the numbers. Now they're going to be relying on this Viper utility.
Yep, there's one. Toxin goes down. They have to get out of the puddle. They got it to the halfway mark, so credit to them. And that is Roxy down, and that is gonna be that. GangsterZz tie this matchup 7 apiece.
Interesting strategy there from GangsterZz. Of course, once they knew they had the player advantage and everyone was all the way over on the B site, they figure, okay, we can run over to A, get the plant down, and then use our post-plant utility. But that Toxic Cloud, it didn't cover the spike. It was actually behind the spike. So that didn't do anything to delay. So they had to invest the snake bite. And unfortunately, there was a little bit too much aggression in deep. But still, we bring this up to a tied up round. A good attacking half for GangsterZz. Oh, goodness me. It's so back and forth here. This our rifle round once again. Let's see how the firepower stacks up as GangsterZz start making their way towards the A site this time around, rather than the B.
Yeah, Project X just ran straight in there, and well, I say unfortunately, they actually managed to get 2 down themselves. So 3v2 situation, make that 3v1 now. It is just Kim left up for Project X, but they do at least manage to get 1 pick, so it's not impossible, but we'll absolutely have to find out if they can make this, all of the walls being deployed and the slow as well. They'll quickly move on through, and they know full well that they have to go for this.
Oh, manages to get the halfway. That's actually massive.
Yeah, that's again, they've managed to do that. And now, the big question is, can they actually get away with this? Another little bit of toxin coming on down. And I think Kim realizes they can actually get this. They're gonna get this.
Perfect. That was the last couple of seconds. Oh my goodness, the timing on that was so good. The fact that she got the halfway mark, I don't think GangsterZz realized that she managed to. So they stay a little bit further back. And interestingly, she doesn't actually deploy the toxic cloud, and it doesn't even matter. She doesn't need to obscure herself because GangsterZz get a little bit overconfident there, thinking that they've stopped her from getting the halfway, stopped her from getting the defuse. And then she just goes and she's like, all right, well, I'm just going to stick this. I have enough HP, and unless you shoot me, I'm going to get this defuse. And it works out perfectly. But despite winning that round, they're still on a very broken buy, and GangsterZz coming into this attacking half with full rifles and an operator. They've got so much going for them. Okay, a little bit of fall damage there. That's not ideal.
Yeah, it be like that sometimes. It's nothing you can do about it sometimes. It's just like, whoops, that was not what I had intended, and you have to live with it now. So it's fine. I mean, you know, it won't matter if it's the operator that kills you, because the operator will kill you anyway.
A nice, very slow approach towards the site this time, but they're so deep in on site already, and oh, the trades just keep coming straight away so quickly.
Lockdown comes out at least. So a 4v3 situation for GangsterZz, and Glance and quickly realizing they're gonna have to just get the heck out of there. And that is gonna be a plant coming on down for GangsterZz. And there it is. Naturally nobody detained, and the Huntress, the Empress, is gonna start their march. The eye comes up on the other side of the field, and again, Slicky just holding position here. And doesn't find the first shot.
And there's the Viper's Pit coming out, just to try and lock down the site as much as possible. So much utility. Look at that Nano Swarm managing to get the damage in, and that will shut down the Viper's Pit, but it's down to the 1v1, and Glance is on a sliver of HP.
Yeah, that's not going to be great for them. Nello needs to go through. No, they committed. They committed to the defuse, and Nello catches them off guard. And once again, it's all tied up.
Waiting for the halfway and then possibly standing up and waiting for the swing might have been the play there, but it's a high pressure situation, and you know that Nello can just play for time. You make a decision in the moment, and unfortunately that decision did not net the results that they would have wanted. We're going to see a very early Viper's wall getting dropped there, and oh, there we go. Okay, so Leah is going to be onto a Spectre. They've forced Project X onto a full eco, but they're going to pop the Blade Storm so that they've got a little bit of firepower. Oh, it gets completely shut down so early on. These Blade Storms across the weekend have just not given the results they wanted.
Yeah, unfortunately, not as consistent as they'd like it to be. And as a result, it's going to be Jet who drops it significantly earlier than they'd planned. Drone goes up and straight down as well as Clark. He takes the high ground. You know full well what they'll be looking out for as Nello gets the better of the Viper exchange this time around. Roxy drops on down via Lyre as well. So again, another great start for GangsterZz. Trying to go for the flawless, gets the flawless, and they have the lead in this set once again.
Eco round for Project X, to be expected. Now, however, they should be able to. Yes, they can force buy up here. Half armor for Cinnamon, but like she can overheal. Ooh, but half armor for Kim is not ideal. I think she actually sold up the full armor to get the half instead. It's quite spicy stuff, and they know they're coming up against the operator. And, you know, Leah's Spectre. Yeah, Leah's doing things with that Spectre. She's making it work. She's getting it done. 2 ultimates here for GangsterZz as well. They do have that Viper's Pit, which can do so much to deny space. Reses on both sides. But a Hunter's Fury and, oh, an Empress immediately popped as the barriers go down for Project X. They're not playing around here.
Yeah, they want this point. They want to try and take this set away before GangsterZz can really muster us in to split. Bearing in mind, split doesn't wait if match 3 does come. Which is why you want Project X. You see Project X going big or going home. Kim and Glance and Smurfette all chalking up those kills when they needed to most. The wall is going to go up, but Smurfette round the corner at the worst possible time. Roxy, I think, gets the rest.
Oh,
no! Oh, no! That's terrible!
Oh, in the middle of the Hunter's Fury! Oh, that's so bad. But the positioning was definitely not ideal there. And now they've got the res off onto Nello. It's 3v1. How does Cinnamon bring this back?
Honestly, I do not know. I don't have the answer for you. We're going to have to wait and see what Cinnamon does. They've got 35 seconds to figure something out. The plant has been made, and
oh my goodness.
Op shot missed. That gives Cinnamon a lifeline. It's a 2v1 situation. They're overhealed up to 50. They've got no shield. So, can they make this work? The plant is down on 8. Surely they'll have this coverage.
Oh
no! No, they didn't! They ran straight in! Oh, they ran straight in and got paid. Oh, no.
The pain that you feel watching that unfold before you. First, the missed op shot, and then to have it all yoinked away because the corner wasn't checked. You're in a hurry. You need to get there. You need to try and get that defuse, and it all gets yoinked away. Now we're at 10 and 8, and Project X once again forced down to that kind of eco buy. And they have no ultimates here. They burnt everything in the previous round and they still weren't able to come out on top. And meanwhile, GangsterZz still have 2 ultimates to play with here. They've got that Blade Storm. They've got the Viper's Pit. We saw the res committed. Oh, this isn't looking good for Project X.
They desperately wanted to try and seal this set, but it looks like GangsterZz have other plans. Cloud just about gets away with it, but not anymore. Cinnamon with the double. Despite Smurfette going down, it gives Project X the player advantage, but they've got to be able to make it matter most here. The triple does come up, but they'll take it down as well. And the knives are popped by Slicey. Can they get anything between that and the operator? That is the question. It is Project X with 2 members up, the Viper and the Sage. What can they do in this position?
See, now Slicey needs to get the spike, but because she doesn't know where anyone is, that's what makes this so dangerous. As soon as somebody peeks out here, I mean, look, she has to watch every single angle.
Oh, no way.
Oh!
I was about to say, oh my gosh, the first knife hit. This might actually be a double and the knives will work, but no, the very next shot takes it away from them. A lot of exchanges in this area, and Slicey cannot get the hit against the Sage, so Project X keeps this match alive.
Oh, she was kind of hoping to swing it. It felt like she wanted to right-click as she swung around, but unfortunately loses the battle there. Full buys here again. 2 operators on the board, and Project X once again just at such a disadvantage in so many ways. Slicey has been so powerful with this operator, but Project X starting to claw their way back up slowly but surely. They've still got Empress online. That's a very early snake bite.
Yeah, it definitely felt like it, didn't it? And the wall is going to be completely different from all of them. Cinnamon sprays on through, gets themselves a double before Slicey finally gets the op shot. But again, information has been traded, and Project X do have the player advantage. Yes, the op is still in play, but I mean, having said that though, Lockdown is also ready to go for GangsterZz as well if they wish to utilize it, but I'm not sure if they really want to do that with... Oh, they do! They do indeed do that!
Mid is completely locked down here. Oh, careful! Oh, Slicey actually swapped out the operator to get a rifle instead. That's a very, very powerful ultimate to have used. No one detained. Kim's gonna rush forward though. Yo! Where did that even come from? Fantastic work. The ultimate to just push everyone off the site. As soon as the ult was over, they came onto site and they were like, all right, well, what did that accomplish? We're just gonna kill you. Get themselves the defuse. We're 10 to 10. This game is so close.
And notice the fact that every single time somebody manages to get at least 3 rounds in a row, it's just quickly shut on down. No one is able to really take this away. This has been a significantly close match. We were hoping that was going to be the case in the previous one. I mean, it was technically, but just that 9 in a row finish in the second half made you feel like Project X were going to start walking away with it, but not anymore. This is as close as it possibly can be. And Smurfette with the first shot. Oh
my
goodness me, a double with the AWP.
She just keeps going. That's a third for Smurfette. Finally gets shut down, but it's down to the 2v2 here. Healers on both sides. The spike is still in play. But Project X are so split up from one another, they're not going to be able to swing.
Nino's going to get the plant. Down it goes. And both actually have ult with this, so Sage could actually double on back and res someone if they really want to. And obviously Reyna has that's exactly what she's done. That's exactly what she does. But Kim managed to fire one in. Cloud gets the triple, but no one's on defuse. They've got it down to the halfway mark, but they can't get the. Wow.
Coming in so clutch there. Roxy actually expects it. Might have heard the footsteps, not too sure, but as she gets the halfway, swings out a little bit, waiting for somebody to push in on her, and she just cannot win the 1v1. That was ridiculous. To be able to, so the res wasn't fully denied, shuts down the Sage, and while trying to kill the res player, of course, there's a swing on the other side just to make sure that that person stays alive. And then while that's happening, the secret defuse, and it still doesn't come through. GangsterZz looking so good right now in that round. And Project X, they've still got some ultimates here. Both of these teams just absolutely slugging it out.
I think that the scoreline is 11-10. Both Vipers have the pit ready to go. The wall is going to come up onto the B side. Oh, wandered straight into that. Thankfully, Kim gets the trade back on the fellow Viper. So there's just the one pit at play. And now it's a 2v2 as Smurfette gets on the ball. That's a triple for Smurfette. That gives Project X the player advantage, and the spike is all the way on A.
I love the way these teams play this defense. Both of them, they're just so cocky and so aggressive. They push way out of bounds through mid, through A main to get where they need to be. And there's going to be Smurfette with another massive multi-kill, evening it up once again. 1 for 1 for 1 for 1. And a tactical timeout comes through. This is going to be... That's GangsterZz calling in a timeout. They're like, all right, we got to make something happen here, ladies. It's the grand final. There's 2 points left on either side, and we need these 2 points if we want to win. If we concede these, then we're out of here. So let's... what do you discuss in this tactical timeout? How do you turn this one around? They know more or less what their buy is going to look like, and we can already see from the silhouettes, it looks like it's going to be a full buy for GangsterZz, and now it's just about, all right, we know we have the Viper's Pit available. How are we going to use that? What other ultimates do we have? Unfortunately, I can't see what the stars look like, or the ult points, so I can't tell you what they might be looking forward to in that regard, but you really got to start to think now strategically. How do we play this? Do we fake? Do we pop our ultimates at this point? When do we use this ultimate? There's so much that goes into this, and both of these teams, of course, Project X can take advantage of this as well. It's not their timeout, but they can be like, all right, cool, we've got a timeout. Now we can talk. How are we going to make sure that we win this? How do we use our Viper's Pit? Got a Hunter's Fury coming online. Meanwhile, we've got a Lockdown and a Blade Storm coming online for GangsterZz as well. So many ultimates here. It's a full buy almost across the board because unfortunately, GangsterZz, 2 of their players not able to buy up. This is going to be such a powerhouse round, Layla.
It really is. And you feel like if GangsterZz are able to take a point at this stage, they might be able to swing it back their way, but they're going to have to go up against an absolute armada here that Project X have on table. And of course, both with the Viper's Pit, so it really comes down to who gets this first pick, and it's going to go the way of Smurfette, who takes down Claw. Cinnamon gets in on the board as well, but immediately taken out by the Viper. And with that, Nello on fire finally gets shut down. It's a 3v1! Glance with that double that came in absolutely at the right time. And that just leaves Slicey Project X on championship point.
Oh, sweet mama. The ultimates that did not come out in that round, I think they were looking for the opening. That's why you see Nello so far forward, the tip of the spear there, waiting to pop the Viper's Pit so that she can put the spike down. And that was a crucial round to win, because look at this buy. It's so busted. 2 Spectres, a Bulldog, and 2 rifles. Half armor across the board, except for Claw, who's got the full armor. Meanwhile, Project X, a slew of ultimates available. A full buy. This could be it. GangsterZz have to dig deep here. They need to get those kills. Bladestorm out immediately off the back. Can they get the follow-up?
Yeah, they have to win this to take it into overtime. It's as simple as that. Cinnamon gets 1. That's the first pick. They get themselves a double, but they are shut down by Slicey. 1 knife, 1 kill. That's exactly what they needed. But there are still ults on the board, and Smurfette has decided, you know what? You got knives, I got knives too. And the Fury's gonna come out as well. I mean, you got the ult, why not use it? You're using this to literally end it right here and now. The res comes up. It gives Project X the player advantage again, but the spike is down on A.
Oh, the knives miss. The right click comes out. It's all down to Claw to make something happen. Can she get it? She manages to get a kill. It's down to the 1v3. The spike is down. She needs to stop this diffuse.
I don't think she's gonna stop it. She's not gonna stop it. She's not gonna stop it at all. They were hidden around the corner, and that